Chapter 3. Breathing in, breathing out. Keep your hand on your chest and feel the rhythmic movements. Have you wondered what is happening? You are taking in and giving out air. This is called breathing. How we breathe. Breathing is the physical process of exchange of gases. While breathing, air enters our body through our nostrils and reaches the lungs. Lungs are two balloon-like bags inside the chest present in a bony ribcage. Oxygen is taken into the body and carbon dioxide is released. Breathing in air involves the following organs of our body: nasal cavity, pharynx, larynx, voice box, trachea, windpipe, bronchi and bronchioles. Lungs have alveoli, air sacs, and diaphragm. The process. The air we breathe in enters through the nasal cavity. It gets filtered by the hair in the nasal cavity and reaches the pharynx and the larynx in the neck region. Below the larynx is the trachea. Air passes through the trachea. The trachea divides into two bronchi in the chest cavity and leads to the two lungs, right and left. In the lungs, each bronchus branches into smaller tubes called bronchioles. At the end of the bronchioles, small air sacs are present. Exchange of gases take place there. Inhaling and exhaling. During breathing, the rhythmic movement of the chest that you feel are because of the contraction and expansion of the lungs. There is a big flat muscle at the bottom of the ribcage. It is called the diaphragm. The muscles of ribcage and the diaphragm bring about movement of the chest cavity. Breathing in is called inhalation and breathing out is called exhalation. During inhalation, the ribcage moves up and outwards, and diaphragm flattens out. Thus, the chest cavity increases in size. During exhalation, the ribcage moves down and inwards, and the diaphragm becomes dome-shaped, thus decreasing the size of the chest cavity. Why do we breathe? We get energy from food. If we do not eat properly, we feel weak. Food has energy. This energy needs to be released. The air we breathe in has oxygen. This oxygen is transported to all the parts of our body and to each cell. Oxygen is used by the cell to break down the food we eat and release the stored energy. The process of breaking down the food with the release of energy is called respiration. What we breathe out. The air we breathe out is rich in carbon dioxide. It also contains water vapor. Thus, the air we breathe out is warm and moist. Breathing rate. Have you counted how many times you breathe in a minute? Does your breathing rate change just after a run? You must have noticed that you breathe faster while running, exercising, or playing games. Do you know why? This is because we need more energy to do any physical activity. So, more oxygen is needed to release that energy. Faster breathing allows more oxygen to get inside the body. At rest, we breathe 15 to 18 times a minute, but when we exercises, our rate of breathing is more. A stethoscope. You must have seen a doctor using a stethoscope to check your heartbeat. A stethoscope can be used to listen to someone's heartbeat, lungs, inhalation and exhalation. Cooling by blowing. While sipping a hot cup of tea, do you blow air occasionally to make it cooler? Again, how do you put out a candle? You blow on it and the flame goes out. How does this happen? When you blow on a burning candle, you blow away the heat faster than it can be generated by the flame. So, even though you still have the wax and lots of air, the flame goes out. Your breath cools the fuel. Warming by blowing. Do you warm your palms in winter by blowing on them when they are cold? In winter, the air that you blow out is warm as compared to the outside temperature. You feel the warmth of the air that you blow out on your palms. Have you seen an angithi? On blowing on the pieces of coal, the fire grows and keeps going. The oxygen fans the flames of a big fire. Word bank. Respiration, the process of breaking down the food with the release of energy. Inhalation, breathing in air. Exhalation, breathing out air. Diaphragm, the big flat muscle at the bottom of the ribcage. Stethoscope, an instrument that is used to feel someone's heartbeat, lungs inhalation and exhalation. Breathing rate. Number of inhalation and exhalation taken within a set amount of time inhaling gases and exhaling carbon dioxide. In a nutshell, breathing is a physical process of inhaling oxygen and exhaling carbon dioxide. It includes inhalation of oxygen and exhalation of carbon dioxide. Breathing involves the following organs: nasal cavity, pharynx, larynx, trachea, bronchi and bronchioles, lungs having air sacs, and diaphragm. During inhalation, the ribcage moves up and outwards, and the diaphragm flattens out, due to which the chest cavity increases in size. During exhalation, the ribcage moves down and inwards, and the diaphragm becomes dome-shaped, thus decreasing the size of the chest cavity. At rest, we breathe 15 to 18 times a minute, but while doing exercises, our breathing rate increases. We can both cool a substance or warm up something by blowing.